Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you that all important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision what comic books to buy. And fans, this week it's a biggie. It is another Marvel event. We just ended one with the Original Sin, and now we're diving in. We marched along and we marched to Access. That's right, fans. And cool cover here. We have Iron Man with all his Avenger and mutant friends against Red Onslaught. So, cool looking cover here. This is done by Rick Remender. The artwork in this particular issue is done by, let me check it real quick because I can't quite remember who it is once it gets going here. Adam Kubert. Okay, so cool artwork here. This is what we have in this two-page spread. We got Magneto and the Red Onslaught doing battle. Opens up here with a couple of cool pictures with our Avengers doing battle against this generic like plant creature in the beginning of the issue, which I thought was kind of comical. And but in the beginning of the issue, it was kind of annoying to see all that Access banner on top of it. Like, I know what it's called. I don't need to see Access across the border lines there. As the issue progresses, you get to see that continued artwork by Adam Kubert, which is really well done. So visually, I thought the book was stunning. What was this story about? Okay, didn't read Uncanny Avengers. I read the first issue, I think the second issue, and I read the last issue leading into it. And I got to see what happened to Red Skull. If you don't know, he got killed by Magneto, and he had obviously in possession Xavier's brain. So when the brain was crushed, it combined the two somehow together and released the deepest and darkest and meanest things that you can not hope for, and that was Red Onslaught, and that's what you got at this particular issue. The beginning was good, the way it opened up. I really enjoyed it. It kind of took that light Marvel approach to it before it got really deep and dark. In this particular issue, you get to see our Avengers working together, and they're trying to do some battle against some generic creature called Plant Man. And it was so funny because Iron Man is sitting here in the beginning of the issue, and he makes this commentary, and he's like, do we know who this is? And he's just making these funny comments and about all these particular possibilities of what this creature can be. And and he says Plant Man. He's like, well, I guess you can sign me off from being on Jeopardy. So I thought it was pretty funny, and you get to see a little bit of a leadership between Falcon and leading the Avengers before everything starts to go wrong. In the issue, you wind up seeing little thought bubbles there, red thought bubbles, and you know it's telepathy. And you automatically know that it's Red Skull or Red Onslaught controlling everybody to go against each other. And I thought that was a really cool element that this book had to offer for its readers, going after each other. Here we got Hulk and things like that. But then, once the issue really started getting going, you could see that it obviously left off right where Onslaught started, with Magneto right in front of him right when he rose to power. I thought this issue kind of dropped off a little bit because all it was really was a complete battle. And I'm one for action, but it was just like lots of battle, battle, battle. And I thought that it just didn't let up at all. And I thought there was a little bit of a lack of a story that I was looking for here. I didn't expect him to go into such heavy action right off the first issue, and we get to see you get to see a lot of battle between Alex Summers, and you get to see Quentin Quire in here, and then you get to see I guess Kid Apocalypse, who's in there. And it was crazy. A lot of things that happened in this issue. You got to see a possession of Scarlet Witch from the Red Skull. You got to see her go into Onslaught's deepest and darkest memories and things like that. And You get to see a touching moment here between Wasp, Janet, and Iron Man on basically why does she fight and to continue to go forward when we lose so much. So I thought that was a good character moment, and I wish the story had a little bit more of that. I didn't get so much of it with the whole Scarlet Witch thing. You get a little bit with it with Rogue in the issue. I don't want to give everything away, but it was just so much battling going on, and it overwhelmed the issue, I thought. Especially even an issue this size. This size issue was about 40 pages, I want to say, and it was just a lot going on here. And by the time you get to the end of the issue, you wind up seeing what happens with Iron Man and Onslaught, and what Iron Man does for Onslaught, and what happens when Iron Man works or does Onslaught's bidding, the consequences that is about to happen. Again, I don't want to spoil it for you, but this is towards the end of the page, and it was really cool at the end. I was kind of like, oh wow, this is awesome, you know. So yeah, you know what? It was a good story. I don't think, you know, if I compared the first issue with Original Sin and the first issue to Access, it's just kind of like it was almost a point A to point B type of issue in a way, because it was like our heroes face the dreaded danger. How are they going to stop it? And then they come up with a solution to stop the problem. And then at the end, you see your heroes coming to solve the problem. But then at the very end of this issue, instead of them, you know, resolving the issue, there's a little monkey wrench that was thrown in there to keep this story going. So it's going to be interesting to see. There's not really a real in-depth story going on here yet. I want to know what is there besides Onslaught just taking over their minds and pitting them against each other. Like, what's the real and true meaning behind all this besides them just battling this Godzilla-like creature? Because that's the way it feels right now, especially when Tony Stark has the telepathy under control. So we're going to see where it goes. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. I just thought there was like an overwhelming amount of action, and I think I would have loved to see a little bit more story here. So after reading it, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Still a solid issue. So guys, leave me your comments below what you thought of this particular issue of Access. Do you think this is going to be a successful Marvel event, or do you think this one is going to be a bust? So guys, as always, thank you for watching, and until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Thanks for watching, fans. See you soon. Bye.